faster generation of bill in the government electricity department. Even though bill is not paid to you in your office or in your residence, this bill is available. ATM, recharge and pays. This bill is available on the websites within 24 hours. Whether bill is physically given to consumer or not. This bill you can pay online by various means like cash incentive. In addition to electricity department which give incentive to pay in time. Now this information is available to me. Maybe why not to put small posters in front of electricity department that you can pay this bill online without bill in your hand. You get 10 to 15 rupees cashback. Why not to give information as in my level, as a sending information to most of my friends, but due to lethargic working of the people, nobody else I think has given me feedback that they have started using this. For last 2 years, I never paid full bill. I always pay 10, 15, 20, 30 rupees less than what is payable by me. Fourth point was delay in updation of bill. If my bill is due today, had I paid it yesterday, this bill does not get updated in the system. Next month, I will get 2 bills. One is last bill what I have not paid in time, and second is next month bill. Because updation of the bill in electricity department takes time. I do not know exact time how much it takes, maybe 3 days, maybe 4 days, maybe 5 days, I do not know. But this must be updated in 2+T level. When I buy the share, I get the share within 2 days. Any part of the world, if I buy share, I get share within 2 days. If I sell the share in any part of the world, I get money within 2 days. Any part of the world, I am not talking about state. If this is the technology which is available all over the world, why not for a common man, electricity department, make a methodology to see that if I pay at 4 p.m. on the day when bill is payable, I get proper credit for that month. Why not electricity department put extra efforts and see that unnecessarily interest charges are not recovered for previous month in spite of paying at 4 p.m. Giving the bill, printing the bill, ink. That's all, sir.
Shri Gerald de Mello.
See, as per the regulations, the Joint Electricity Regulatory Commission has to have public hearings at 2 important points. One is when the tariff is being finalized, and on the other side when the accounting is being done. So at this point of time, this public hearing is to focus on the accounting. So from GOA, I made my submission today that I've been attending the hearings from the very first time this hearing started in Goa. And many orders have been passed by this commission. And unfortunately, the most important order which was passed, that this electricity department cannot function anymore as a department. It has to either become an electricity board or a corporation. So I have brought it to the notice of Honorable new chairperson who has come and Honorable member, Madam, that they may examine the earlier orders which were passed, because if it runs as a corporation or a board, there is a better chance that we will have a business approach. Right now we are noticing that the way it is, of course they have done auditing of the accounts, very good thing, but simple point I will give you. Today we are just 16 lakh resident population. We are having 90 lakh tourists coming to Goa. I have raised this point today. There are so many illegal apartments operating in the state of Goa which are being used by foreign tourists, domestic tourists, and paying domestic fare, domestic electricity charges. Now this is not fair. Department has to take cognizance and recover that revenue. We are the consumers, domestic consumers, nearly 6,50,000. 80% of the consumers of electricity department is domestic consumers. So it is very important that there should be fair play. Those who are getting away without paying the bill cannot be allowed. Second point I have raised with the commission today is that they have shown debt. Now in one case they have shown some 3 crores, next year they have shown 4 crores, that this is debt, they have written it off. So whose money they have written off? Who owed them and why they did not recover? We public should know this. They should put it on the website. Third point I have raised about power theft. Lot of power theft is taking place. However, if you see the electricity department on the website, they have written that you may file a complaint on the email ID called cvcexecutiveengineer@gmail.com. Now, why will I want to file some confidential information on a email which is running from America? They should have an email which is gov.in or nic.in. Then there will be confidence. So many consumers have told me that आम्ही त्या emailाचेर आमची complaint दिवचे, because power theft is a very serious matter. Somebody is coming forward to give this information. Then I have raised the next point is about the accidents that are taking place in Panjim, where so many poles are knocked off. Only on the DB marg you can see in CCP area how many expensive electricity poles are knocked off. In other places, Margaon, Mapsa, these accidents, they are breaking these poles. Not a single FIR is filed by electricity department to recover this money from the person who is creating this accident. So we are sending a very wrong signal that the electricity poles, which are very important for transmission of electricity, anybody can just break it and throw it down and go without paying 1 paisa. There are some poles in Panjim which cost nearly 1,25,000. This is the cost of one pole. No FIR is filed, no recovery has taken place. Then I have also that very importantly, we have to also see that, government is going on putting money. Now last time in this account they have shown government has paid 407 crores. How long this government will go on putting this type of money? Business should be running, if no profit, no loss. But cannot be this much that 400 crores government of Goa is giving. And if you see, today government departments are owing the electricity department maximum amount. They have not recovered. So we have appealed today to the commission that some direction be given to the electricity department that first you clean your own house. The department which is owned by the government should make its other departments pay the bill first. And finally, we have appealed to the commission and we are that they consider all these points, and we are pleased that this is the first time we are having 2 public hearings. Today is for North Goa and tomorrow it will be South Goa district in Margaon. So I think that is a big change. However, many consumers do not know today. The last 2-3 days people are asking what is true up? What is the meaning of true up? True up is reconciling, balancing the accounts. That is the real meaning of it. So in any house, people are also concerned about their home budget. So how the department is adjusting the accounts, how they are balancing the account, this is very important. So more people, I would appeal to more people to go on the website, see this entire thing and get more knowledge. This is my humble plea to the consumers of Goa.
Should comment regarding campaigns for consumers for increase of load. Some wanted more clarity on the bad debts. Some were mentioning that annexures to reports are not available. Another point which had come in was the underground cabling has been done, but last mile connectivity remains, and of course of the trenches which remain. So maybe if you can reply to this question.
As the Honorable Commissioner said, a lot of good suggestions are come, but I just want to briefly touch on certain issues. My very good friend Mr. Roland initially said budgetary support. I just failed to understand. Budgetary support is finally given by Government of Goa, which is good for the consumers. If you don't give the budgetary support, it has to transform finally in increase of tariff. Now, there are 2 ways of looking at it. Either you reduce the cost, reduce the losses, or you give budgetary support. But by reducing losses also, maybe we may not be completely neutralize the budgetary support. So partly is thinking good. If his budgetary support is not given, I'll be the most happier person, because finally it has to be charged from the consumers. But I'm not denying the fact that we also have to work on the losses reduction and control of a lot of expenses which is within the control. Domestic, many of the people, as you said, there are people taking domestic connections in when they are using commercial activities, especially the tourists. It is very difficult. In fact, I also want, because a lot of coastal bed, there are a lot of people staying on rent, but it is very difficult to really get the proper proof that is it the owner is staying or it is given a rented. So there is a mechanism we are trying to see, because we have asked from the South and North Tourism Department to give us all the approvals, and that way we have got certain cases, but not that to that extent that maybe as Roland is thinking. But yes, I do agree. Many people do not register as a for that and doesn't take a tourism registration, and we finally don't get enough paper to prove that it is a commercial connection. But I also would love to charge people on commercial, because it's a very, very high rate, and we will also get an additional revenue. We will look into that. Because when I became the chief engineer, I was also saying there are a lot of people take a load, small load, and then subsequently they keep on increasing their various gadgets and various utility products. Now entire thing goes on the electricity. So many of our consumers do not go for increasing load. We will take the suggestion and we'll do a extensive campaign. Bad debt. Actually, there is a provision. We have not wiped off any amount. In the regulation, there is 1% of the ARR is accounted so that it can be passed to the consumers. So we have gone by that regulation, 1%. We have not wiped off anybody's money. Whatever the cases, different cases are going, the different courts. So those are going on. We have not wiped anybody's pending areas. Complaints for power theft. Yes. What happened, as Roland said, there are power theft happening. Again, whatever complaints we get, 80 to 90% of the complaints are sometimes fake, and they don't give the true facts. But yeah, there are some where we are active. I would love to, and I have told Roland also, you give us some of the clues, and every time when the complaints come through mails, every complaint is attended. Not a single FIR is filed, my dear friend Roland said. It's wrong. We file all the FIR. Now nothing happens of that FIR. Maybe this may be the right, because the police department also sometimes don't get the real culprit, because these cases are happening in the night time. Somebody bangs the pole, and we fail to understand who is the guy, who is the person, who is the culprit. But we file all the FIR. We can show you all the FIR are filed. Government departments, yes, there were a lot of dues, but with the RTSS scheme, and there is a certain conditions of the scheme, because of which nowadays the lot of this is reduced. And we will see that the entire government department becomes zero. He said electricity duty is going in treasury, and we don't have any information. We account for that money, entire money is therefore last year we have done almost 950 crores of expenditure. Most of this is from the ED. When the budget was just 350, we have spent 950 crores. So this 600 plus crores, whatever we spent last year, and that is why one of my friends said, jet speed, lot of underground cabling, lot of upgradation, transformation capacity. We have put almost 100 MVA in TV in last year. We are putting one transformer of 50 MVA in Verna, 63 in Ponda. So a lot of transformation capacity we have increased. We have upgraded the lines. A lot of network is converted to underground. So this money is accounted. We kept a total, in fact, by next year, entire ED will be zero. In fact, I want to make it zero because it's the people money, and therefore last year and this year, huge underground cabling and lot of infrastructure work has been carried out. Advance payment and interest, I fail to understand because this facility is already there. When somebody pays, maybe we may have to give more information and clarity to the public so that public are aware. But this facility is already there. Meter and methodology, I right now don't have an answer, yes, but like a layman I can say yes. When we charge, till how long we have to charge? And how is the provision, that I will check. Information for rebate on online payment. Rebate is there. We will see how we can improve on this by giving the information to each and every person to use this facility. One more, somebody said, bills can be made soft copy. I'll be most happy to make it. It is easy, wherein I will be able to reduce a lot of efforts and a lot of money will be saved. But we have to understand this, even if maybe 90% may be using soft copies, online, email, but there are certain people who still work on the hard copy. And certain for legal matters or for approving their invoicing, they require the hard copy. So it becomes a little difficult, even if 2% of the people wants the hard copy, how to go for soft. In fact, I was the one who wanted to go for entire soft when we have a lot of debates among us, and then we said it is not a right thing to do, even if one person, some of the poor people, because sometimes we fail to understand what kind of consumers we have, whether literate, illiterate, what circumstances, what situation they live. Yes, 90-95% maybe are much aware they are using online, mobile. There are still some people who are unable to use these type of facilities. There are different charges. Somebody said FPPC charges, DCD, the street light. Let me tell, street light, what we recover is very, very minimum. And what we spend is much, much more than that. ED, we have access with us. Maybe next year that also will be utilized. FPPC, whatever the Honorable Commission arrives by today's cost of power. Now you all know the power is not generated in Goa. The entire power is coming from the neighboring states. The 80% of the power is coming from thermal. The coal, the blended coal comes from the other countries. The cost, certain cost is not in our control. So anything over and above the approved cost by the Commission is being finally charged to the consumer in terms of FPPC. Fuel and power purchase cost adjustment. Losses, yes, I do understand. My dear friend, Mr. Gerald, said we have to further work on reducing the losses. Yes, if you have to reduce the expenditure and reduce the tariff, we need to work on the losses. We are working under the RDSS scheme. There are a lot of upgradation, lot of underground cabling. We are improving the level of the transformers efficiency. So we'll definitely work on it. Priority for domestic is given. Yes, as a businessman, if I see, I also would love to first put off the domestic consumers and give the supply to industries, commercials. Anybody will do it. But finally, government has to protect the people. It is basically a decision taken by government first to touch the industry because the industries are well equipped with the DG sets. So it is always a decision taken, to help the domestic and put off the industries first. That also, these issues is not coming much only when there is shortage, maybe because certain big plants go on breakdown, unplanned. That time we have a shortage, 1 day, 2 or 3 days. This year we had made a provision, even in May, because last May we had a lot of issues as far as power is concerned. So this year also we made enough provision for May. So there was not much load shedding, maybe because of the network constraint, small patches, there were some issues, but next year those also will get resolved. Power outages, we are working very hard, lot of underground cabling, lot of transmission capacity is being added, upgraded. Consumer rights compensation has recently come as per the guidance of the Honorable Commission, and as per the rules which are in force, we will go by that. CAG report, somebody said, we will see how, I also have need to see. But certificate is being given to this thing. Whatever in the petition, we put all the figures, these are based on the CAG data. Complete all the projects. I fail to understand. I will personally talk to, I think, somebody in the, for over 3 years, it should not be there. I don't, there are projects which delays and connections are not given because June till October, there is a collector's order, we cannot carry out any excavation. But 3 years should not happen. So I will take a note and I will see exact information what it is. Somebody said the transmission, how the losses are reduced. What happens, the power purchase units we have, because finally it's the audited figures. But in February and March, we did not bill it. If we have not billed it, from where to get how much the units are consumed. So that much unit of the February and March will be reduced from the sales figure. And therefore the losses will come down, will increase for that year. And next year, the power purchase is already accounted. So the sales increase, the units basically, when I say sales is not rupees, it is units. Therefore the losses come down. In fact, we should give all the annexures. I don't know why these annexures were not available on the website. I will check. All the information should be on the website. Restatement of roads. There are policy of the government of Goa that excavation, underground cabling, after that, PWD will do the estimate and they will do the reinstatement. I know for which people have to suffer, but how to improve it, how the coordination between the electricity department and the PWD can be improved, we will see. So that the moment when they are supposed to do the reinstatement, before that we will coordinate with them and complete the underground work, or we will give them information much prior, so that these are the works which are proposed in these constituencies, these regions, these areas, so that accordingly they can frame their estimates so that public is not made to suffer. Reliance that somebody has raised, that money was never accounted for previous tariff petitions. So that the question doesn't come to account it in our petition and pass it to the consumers. I think I have touched almost 90%. Maybe if I miss certain things, we will answer to the Honorable Commission and go by the Commission's order.
GOA for this GOA petition for the financial year 2021 and 2022. In case